I don't know how to swim. Then halfway through the river, I felt the water level reach my chest, my neck, my nose, my eyes, and then, bam, drowning. My near-death experience was,
Unexpected.
it is life-changing and truly unique.
Tragic.
A prank.
That happened when I was 9 years old. My cousins and I were playing on the second floor of our house. Then we decided to play on the terrace of our house.
It happened around 10 years ago. We went to a village in a rice field to actually attend a wedding celebration. My uncle had a gift, a brand new, sleek black Honda XRM 125, I think. My mom decided to borrow the new motorcycle just to test drive it. So, being her beloved son, she just took me along because she could only bring one.
It started way back, I guess, in 2021. It's a bit embarrassing, but to be honest, at that time I was really broken. So I bought a motorcycle. So what happened?
What happened back then? In 2018, we had just come from a product shoot. We finished really late. I was riding along Rojas Boulevard at the crossing there. So I'm not stupid enough to cross on a red light. So of course, I waited for the green light.
When we were about to approach the slope going up to the bridge, there was a sudden surge of disbelief. It felt like I floated.
I suddenly grabbed onto the wire, the one holding us so we wouldn't fall off the terrace. I was 9 years old then, and I would get carried away by the music. I just started swaying back and forth.
Because it turns out the head of the XRM, it doesn't really balance the weight, the head of the XRM. So as she was about to, turn back,
That happened.
the wheel of the XRM swerved. We lunged forward and down.
I blacked out then. As in, I don't even remember how I fell.
During that time, my motorcycle's grip started having problems because it was really hot at that time too. So the rubber on the grip softened and it started coming off. So that time, while moving or while driving, I was trying to put it back on, not realizing I was already in the other lane.
Okay, I had already passed the first lane. Then there was this idiot coming from Ermita. He was totally drunk, riding a motorcycle. They had a red light, but the motherfucker went ahead.
I was going really fast at that time because I was in third gear or something like that. When I looked in front of me, there it was. I saw the multi-cab. Like I was going so fast that it was as if all my thoughts just went blank.
When I woke up after 3 days, I was already at the Philippine General Hospital with all sorts of tubes attached to me.
I actually have a unique allergy. I'm allergic to cherries. My older sister works and I have a niece. And of course, as a mom on weekends, she brings something home for her child like that. So he brought home a small cake, a chocolate cake. So I took a bite, it was delicious, but it was for my nephew. So I left, I just tasted it.
It was actually a post-graduation party. He's just somewhere, Henoy Vasila. The Minalonga River is nearby. There was a segment on Jessica Soho, apparently, stay with me on this one, where they said that River supposedly takes handsome men. Stay with me on this one.
After a few minutes, my butt started to itch. I broke out in hives. It was bad, I was sweating so much. I couldn't understand what was happening to me. I asked my sister, what flavor was that really? It just suddenly occurred to me to ask what flavor was the cake, because that was the last thing I ate. Then she said, the cake had cherry syrup. That's when I finally figured out, I'm really allergic to cherries.
Me, I never admitted to my friends that I didn't know how to swim. Because I was embarrassed to admit that I didn't know how to swim. Because they might call me, of course, guys, like, bitch, you know how to swim. Bitch, you don't know how to swim. You're already grown up. Those who didn't know how to swim went ahead. Those who knew how to swim stayed. And I was among those who didn't know how. So yeah, we just hung out with the boys for a while. We just chilled there in the shallow part of the river until it was time to go home. So they went ahead. They were so good doing backstrokes, butterfly strokes, all sorts of things. And there's me at the back trying my very best not to die.
So they brought me to the ER. Then it was already midnight and it took so long for the ER doctor to come out. When he finally came out, he immediately called the nurse on duty. They injected me with medicine. One here and another one here. My mom asked, what are those for? The injections. Then the doctor just answered, it's to relieve her itching and so she won't have trouble breathing anymore. When I stepped out of the hospital, I was so high, it felt like I was on drugs or something, I don't even know. When we got on the tricycle, Maybe after 5 minutes, I felt my tongue twitch. I can't really explain it. It twitched, then pulled back. Then it felt like it just went flat like that. Then it started to stiffen. My heart, it was pounding so hard. I could hear it in both my ears.
Then about halfway to the deep river, I could slowly feel the cold water level rising up to my chest, then my neck, my nose, my eyes. And then suddenly, bam, drowning. I was truly drowning in that moment.
When I closed my eyes, it was pitch black. I started dreaming right away. When I closed my eyes, it was like not even a second had passed. I couldn't see anything at all. I was on a street, a really dark street. And there was just one lamppost. I was just standing there, just staring. I was just staring at the light.
After that, it was an emergency right away.
I mean, I can't really remember exactly what happened, but I do remember. I just remember that my head got dragged. I even thought, that my head would get smashed or my head would get cut off.
I had so many scrapes there. I was bleeding here. They sprayed something here on me. It was really an emergency. I hit my head here.
I have broken arms here. I have a scar here. And then my left leg was also broken.
When I looked at my foot, it was already broken. It was already twisted. It was already bent. Both the tibia and fibula of my foot were broken.
That is exactly how it goes. They often say that in those final moments while you are slowly dying, your entire life suddenly flashes right before your very eyes. It's not true. I was agnostic at that time. But in that moment, I think I called on every god there is. Every saint up there, man. Oh my God, is this really it? Am I really about to die? There are still so many things I haven't done.
But luckily, I expected that we'd definitely fall 10 to 20 feet down. What broke our fall was the overgrown grass and dried branches. I opened my eyes and saw that we only fell about 4 to 5 feet.
But here's the weird part about what happened. I didn't fall where the clothesline was. Because if I had fallen there, I would have been beheaded or something. My body would have been completely destroyed.
So thank goodness, there was a group of tourists behind me who also didn't know how to swim. They were rafting. I just want to give a quick shout out to the teacher who was with us, Sir Danny Balance. I owe you my life, sir. He's an Igorot. I just felt my body being lifted up. Then I was placed on the raft.
After that, they said I slept for 3 days. They said I wouldn't wake up.
We heard a rumor that apparently this river takes handsome men, good-looking guys like that. Then they started teasing me. My friends at the resort were like, JM, you fool. Ray changed his mind. He was going to do it. No.
My sibling told me that he apparently made a post. They said my older brother is currently at the Philippine General Hospital. Currently, he hasn't woken up for 2 days. It's such a coincidence, isn't it? Because it happened on April 1st. No one believed it. No one came, no one visited. And I'm such a prankster too. I really like things like that, pranks and all. So they really didn't take me seriously.
That day, we went to another doctor. He handed the paper to the doctor. Then for a few seconds, the doctor just stared like that. Then he looked at me. Then he said to me, "You're lucky you're still here today." Then I said, "This medicine, it's injected into people who are being revived. This medicine is injected into people whose hearts have already stopped." So that's why I could hear my heartbeat so loudly in both my ears, thump, thump, thump. Because I was alive and they still injected me with something to make my heart beat. Wasn't that too much? I was really out of it then and I couldn't say anything anymore.
Weeks later, I started having flashbacks of when I drowned. I wasn't doing anything, I was just chilling at that time. Then suddenly, I'd remember the water level rising. That's what kept flashing back to me.
I think when I'm walking somewhere high like that, my heart just drops.
I have, anxiety now every time I go to sleep.
I think so, yeah. I have those kinds of moments where after having this kind of experience, I develop different outlooks on life.
It's like I appreciate even more the people who are really close to me. Because me, I'm very loving. I appreciate it more when I have a lot of friends. However, I get to appreciate more the people in my inner circle.
It was actually a life lesson. Like, you have to be careful with yourself physically, especially since we only have one life.
My greatest fear is death. That's been my greatest fear, even before. I thought, when that happened to me, dying isn't really that scary if that's all there is to it. Those 5 seconds when it was so dark and you were just there, I wasn't even scared then. I didn't feel anything then. Dying isn't really that scary after all.
I know life is short, but what makes life worth it is how you spend it.
Do the things you're still hesitating about. It's now or never. Because you really never know, there are unexpected things that will happen. And appreciate the life that was given to you. Life isn't like a movie where you can be brought back in part 2.
We only have one life, so because all I can say is I have to live in the moment. So yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. I honestly cannot thank you all enough for your incredible support.